Welcome back to Lost Legacies. I'm Matt.
I'm Sam.
First off, apologies for not having a Lost Legacies episode last week. I'm pretty sure y'all were all looking forward to a non-Lost episode, but we recorded one and it sucked.
Yeah.
Well, sucked is a harsh word. It just got really deep, heavy. It got really heavy.
Yeah, we took some heavy turns, and it was kind of a lot. It was rough.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of heavy content. I don't know, like we kind of just kept going in circles. I was trying to edit it, and I'm like, this just isn't fun. I'm not going to put people through this, you know?
Yeah.
Especially because me and Sam have such similar views and ideas. Like it's not like it was going anywhere. It kind of reminded me of the SNL sketch where the two dudes are mansplaining feminism to the women.
Oh God.
I'm like, this is going nowhere. It was kind of like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That wasn't what we were doing. We were not mansplaining feminism to anybody.
No, yeah. It was just us agreeing and then slightly disagreeing, but then realizing we actually agreed with each other. And then, yeah, it was just that over and over.
Wow, so, I feel like I'm back in it. I just listened to the episode. Yeah.
Oh, geez, I know.
Wow.
But yeah, before we get into it, I think Sam has something else to plug this week.
I do. I very much do. So, what day is this? Today's Monday. Yeah. The last weekend in April, a couple of days ago, a Kickstarter went live. Not just any Kickstarter. My Kickstarter. Also, not just my Kickstarter. It's a couple of us. We made a comic. A couple of years ago, we put out issue 1 of Quetzalcoatl. That was completely funded. Those issues went out. It was great. It was phenomenal. And then, 2020 hit. So we had to figure out a bunch of stuff. It took a really long time for us to get that comic out, just that one issue out. And let me tell you, making comics isn't easy. Even if you have the thing written and drawn up and it's in a PDF, it doesn't matter. Getting that thing out there, getting it printed, it's a lot of work. So this time around, we decided to go for broke. Right now, the Kickstarter for Quetzalcoatl Volume 1 is up. That's right, Volume 1. That means you're going to get 5 issues. The very first issue plus 4 more additional ones that nobody has seen yet. The scripts are written. We got to go through and edit them and do all that stuff and then give them to our artists. So, we've already covered a lot of ground. But yeah, we really just need as much support as we can. As of this recording, we are a 10th of the way done. We have 10% of our funding.
I just checked, and you're at 14%.
Oh, look at that. Wow. See, even better. We're 14%
and you still got 29 days to go. Keep in mind, everyone, we're recording this a week before y'all get it. So those numbers will probably be different, and you'll have less time to donate.
Yes, absolutely. So it is imperative that you donate. If you're following me on my Instagram and my Twitter, I have been posting about it almost nonstop. Pretty sure all of my followers hate me at this point, but doesn't matter because I'm still going to be posting well into the night about this. So you're asking yourself, Sam, this sounds great. Where am I going to go? Where can I do this? Well, I'm glad you asked. All you have to do is type into your little, space bar thing up top. Go to Google, type in www.quetzalcoatlcomic.com. That's www.quetzal. Is that right? Hang on.
I was going to say, I was like, oh man,
great.
Is he doing it?
Yeah. Now I gotta backtrack. Damn it. Oh, dang. I had it right. Okay. So let's try it again. All you have to do, open your web browser of your choice, type in www.quetzalcoatlcomic.com. That's www.quetzalcoatl comic.com. That's going to take you straight to our Kickstarter. Also, if you just go to Kickstarter and type in Quetzalcoatl Volume 1, ours is going to be the first thing that pops up. So, yeah. So Matt's right. As of whenever this airs, it'll probably be about 29 days or so left on the Kickstarter. We had it set for about a 45-day run. So yeah, please. And if you can't donate, then all I ask is that you share, share it on your socials, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you got. And if you want to tag me, go for it. You already know my handle. It's at Real Texas Weirdo.
Yep. And I mean, Sam was giving you the link and telling you the website. You could do that, or you can do the hard way and go to kickstarter.com/projects/Mickey Martinez /Quetzalcoatl -vol VOL -1 -a Latinx comic. That's if you want to do it my way.
Yeah, the Matt Jimenez way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. That's exciting.
I know, super pumped.
Oh, you have more than it says 42 days to go. Okay, so it's like a month and a half then, the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah. We decided to do it like to sort of bleed into both like April, May, and then a little bit of June. So yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Is there any other? Because I was looking it up the other day. Are there any like cons nearby? I know Mickey's doing some, but like, what about for us? Like
that, I don't know.
Alamo City Comic Con, I'm pretty sure is done for. Like, COVID did them in. I don't think they're around anymore.
Yeah, COVID kind of killed that one. There might be some smaller ones that are coming up. And like, I'm gonna try and be there. I have printed out some like postcard sized flyers that they have like two of the covers on opposite sides, and one of the sides has a QR code that takes you to the Kickstarter site itself.
So cool. That's so cool.
Yeah,
man.
Shout out to Mickey, shout out to Anna, our artist. Thank you all so much. This has been an incredible journey, and it's going to be even more incredible once we get this funded.
That's exciting. That's fun, man. This is something I wanted to ask you last week in the episode that shall not be named, which is, I guess it's a lot more fun than the topics we ended up talking about, but we just didn't have time. I'm curious on the future of content, the way it's made and the way we consume it. Because like even now, Netflix just came out and said, hey, they lost 200,000 subscribers in the first quarter of the year. And a lot of people are saying that like streaming services are noticing a burnout. People are unsubscribing. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, because we're so overwhelmed with content right now. However, as always, I'm looking at the little guy, who's the person without the studio, who's making their own content and succeeding. And it's because of sites like this: Kickstarter, Patreon, GoFundMe, Ko-Fi, I think is one. There's all these different avenues to support artists that you like. And I wonder, is that the future of content? Now, typically when people say content, they think of like, oh, YouTubers, bloggers, podcasters. Is that the future of cinema? Because let's look at Critical Role. They have, tons and tons of fans. They raised $11 million to make an animated series. Amazon's like, hey, these guys are hot. We're gonna take that, give you 2 additional episodes, and then give you a whole second season as well. That's essentially, I mean, kind of the first project that I'm aware of where that happened. So are we getting into, or is it possible that we get to a world where we start losing the Netflixes and the HBO Maxes, and it's just like we're literally paying for everything we want
Mhm.
and nothing extra,
Mhm.
which I guess is good and bad. But
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
mean, I think cinema and television are always going to be there in some form or another.
Mhm.
Um, that's not really a worry of mine. I do think that a lot of things are going to get streamlined if Netflix, and this is kind of like this is kind of just like a hypothetical, but if Netflix ever shutters its doors and closes down, like, yeah, I feel like we're still gonna have television, we're still gonna have TV. It's just gonna be more streamlined, and I do think you're right that the future sort of feels like the future feels like it's being set up in a way so that, like you said, the little guy can have a direct line to the people that are making these things. And so it's like the things that pass or fail are sort of just up to us. If I can pay somebody to keep making a show because I really like that show and I like where it's going and I want to, I can support them directly, that might be the avenue to go,
Mhm.
instead of everybody waiting on pins and needles to see if HBO Max is going to renew Our Flag Means Death after it
Exactly.
became this huge global phenomenon. Instead of us like sitting here, twiddling our thumbs, being like, oh my God, are they going to cancel it? Are they going to renew it? What's going to happen? If there's a possibility that the future is, oh, hey, here, just take my donation. And then, oh, hey, look, we got all this money. We're going to make Our Flag Means Death season 2. Like,
Mhm.
that might be the way to go.
Mhm.
Um, and obviously that's like that's kind of like a big hypothetical, but I do think that, like, because you can see it now, with exactly like Patreon. Patreon has allowed a bunch of podcasts, a bunch of YouTubers, like all that stuff, like it has allowed them to quit their day job, and the thing that they're creating, that's their job now. So
Right. Yeah, and like I think there's always going to be some use for like some kind of middleman. So like podcasters, you still like everything still goes through Apple Podcasts or Spotify or something,
mhm.
that the money doesn't unless you have a deal with Apple and Spotify. But even then, like they have like subscriptions now, memberships. So
Mhm.
you could subscribe and pay X amount to Spotify and you're like a member for this podcast.
Mhm.
And you might get, I mean, there's really no difference from Patreon. It's just that all your extra bonus stuff is going to be on the Spotify app.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like you can't write blogs on Spotify. You can't post video on Spotify. You know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
just podcast only, audio only stuff. So like that stuff is already out there. But then we've been talking about Brandon Sanderson, who just gave a middle finger to the publishers and said, I'm going to do a Kickstarter for my
Mhm.
next 3 books, which
4.
4 books he has already written.
Yeah.
So he's already put in the hard work.
Mhm.
So now he's just got to coast and worry about the logistics of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's on one hand, I'm kind of like, is the studio dead?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so because using Sanderson as an example, he's the exception. He already had
Yeah.
he already had and has a giant following and fan
Mm-hmm.
base. So when somebody like Brandon Sanderson says like, "Hey, my next 4 books are exclusively going to the Kickstarter, and no plans to put them in bookstores at all," yeah, that's going to create, that is going to create your cash flow. If I do that, if I choose to do the middle finger to the publishers and be like, I'm going to make a Kickstarter and put my book on the thing, which, you know, let's, technically, I guess that's kind of what we're trying to do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's harder. That's significantly
Yeah.
harder. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, like there are pros and cons. But I do think there's always going to be room for the studio, for any type of studio or publisher.
And I think the good side of this is that in order to survive, they're going to have to change the way they do business.
Yeah.
Because what is the studio offering, or publisher, whoever, what are they offering that you yourself can't do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, it's like, oh, we can get it to more people, there's more funding, yada, yada. But like those things, the actual bullet points of things they can provide to you, that list is getting shorter every year with technology.
Mm-hmm.
So to go back to Critical Role, they get all this money, they start working on the show. How do they get it to the people?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of people gave them flack, myself included, for going to Amazon with it, because I don't like the company Amazon at all.
Right.
But I understand, you know, the whole idea of their Kickstarter was to make a pilot, to make a single episode. They ended up getting enough money to do a first season.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started pitching it around, and they ended up going to Amazon. Because it's almost impossible for them as a company to get it to the people.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? You're going to put it on YouTube? Those files are going to be huge. You're going to be paying a lot of money for it. And it's not just one-time fee. It's going to be constant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a YouTuber uploads a video on YouTube. It's there forever. That's fine. Okay. It's not going to cost them anything. But if you upload content of that quality to that degree of like high definition, that long, 12 episodes or whatever, that's going to have to be there forever.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to pull it off. So you're continuing to pay that,
mm-hmm.
you know? And even then, what if it shuts down because so many people are on it trying to watch, you know? There's all these limits and stuff. So like, yeah, they still needed that middleman. So they went to Amazon. But I think this kind of, hopefully everyone kind of wisens up and say like, hey, maybe we need to do more, leave the creators more in charge, have better relationships with them. So there's an actual incentive to use our services.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hope. Anyway, we'll see. Disney's never going to do that because they already have so much stuff, you know?
Yeah.
If they're like, hey, Sam, man, we want to do a Cinnamon and Oatmeal cartoon. I'm like, guys, I love you. But no. Mm-hmm. Like Marvel, Star Wars alone, where are you going to fit us onto the schedule, you know?
Yeah.
There's no way they can do it without burying it. And, you know, then you get stuff like The Expanse, you know, they get canceled by Sci-Fi and then they go to Amazon. But even then, Amazon never really promoted it until the last season. And even then, like, I can't say we got a single good trailer out of that show.
Yeah.
You know, just because like nobody wanted to put the money in to promote it. Yeah. Something that that I think is easily the greatest science fiction show of all time. It's like, yeah.
That was my favorite show last year.
Yeah, they got lost in all of it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your segue?
That's my segue. That's right, baby. We're talking about season 3, episode 10. Trisha Tanaka is dead.
What a title.
When Hurley discovers an old VW van, he makes it his mission to get it running again. This was a filler episode, but it was done right.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt really good to just come in, chill out, no others, no Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Just reunions and fun and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
I agree. I think it was a great episode as long as Kate wasn't involved.
Yeah, she's hard-headed.
Yeah. She's hard-headed and she's got the it's less hard-headed and more just, you know, she has this whole holier than thou sort of thing. It's like, no, you guys aren't motivated to save Jack. You know, it's like, okay, calm down. You know, you don't even know what happened. You don't know everything that's going on here, Kate.
I wish they could have I wish the episode was longer so they could have explained that. Like, oh yeah, Echo's dead because the island killed him. Do you remember that, Kate? There's still a monster out there, just so you're aware. Also, the hatch imploded. Why? Because of the island, I think. Just so you're aware, there are other things that that we cannot control, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this whole other thing has happened. It's only been like 4 days or something
Yeah.
since the hatch exploded. So it's
Hmm.
like stuff a lot of stuff's gone down.
Hmm.
And no, Kate doesn't care about any of that. She feels so guilty, but she won't admit it to herself or anybody else. But she feels so guilty about leaving Jack behind that she's willing to burn bridges and call people out and be like, "No, I'm gonna go find Jack. I need to do this." And then,
Hmm.
yeah, I do think it's cool. I'm just gonna go through all the Kate stuff because I want to get to the Hurley stuff. But
Hmm.
I did think that it was a good idea to go to Rousseau, and she tells Rousseau about Alex,
Hmm.
a girl who helped her escape the island. She was about 16 years old. Think it's your daughter. I'm like, yep, there you go. That's how you do it. That's
Hmm.
how you get Rousseau involved. I'm like, good. More Rousseau is always good.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, and also I was watching it and like right before Sawyer and Kate make it back to camp, they have their little talk. Nothing changes. They're just talking, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what the characters are like when they have good writing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. But this was a Hurley episode, and it had been a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess let's talk about the flashbacks. First off, let's start off with little Hurley listening to Shambhala from Three Dog Night. I was like, that's a good touch.
Right.
But
Cool
yeah,
kid.
Cheech was his dad.
Yeah, that was crazy. Cheech
Mm-hmm.
Marine.
Which we never really found out what happened with him. Like he just left and abandoned them
Dude, yeah, I think he just ran off.
for
You
17 years.
Yeah. Typical, dad, gotta go to Vegas, got some
Mm-hmm.
work in Vegas, and then that's it.
Never came
If
back.
anybody tells you they got work in Vegas, I'm just like, all right, I'll see you in 17 years, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But essentially, all his flashbacks were just him. I guess the through line was hanging on to hope
Mm-hmm.
or not, because that's something his dad told him. But then through the whole curse and everything of the numbers, he was just kind of lost. And then his dad comes back and says, "You just have to hope,
Mm-hmm.
you know, keep the faith, man." And that essentially sums up the whole flashbacks. But I thought it was really well done. We caught up with Hurley. We found out that his best friend took off with that girl that he was in love with.
Man,
Uh, yeah.
what a shame.
Hmm. Randy is back, or like
Mm-hmm.
he was his boss and now he's working for him.
Yeah.
I, I'm trying to think because Randy was also Locke's boss at the paper company.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to wonder what the time frame was here. I think maybe this came first
I think so.
because he was Locke's boss and Locke was already looking into like the walkabout stuff, which was like right before
Mm-hmm.
the show starts.
Are we sure Randy was his boss?
Yeah, yeah, it was his
Okay.
boss.
Okay.
Hmm.
Maybe he got fired. I don't know. Maybe this is after because it feels
I mean, the
pretty.
store got blown up,
Quick.
so
Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe the store blowing up is what puts Randy, it's like, hey, I got to get a different job
mhm.
or something like that. And
But
yeah,
they did drop that info 1 or 2 seasons ago that Hurley owns a box company in some
hmm,
random place. So maybe Hurley just gave him a job because the old one blew up.
maybe. Yeah, maybe. We'll never know. Enough about Randy, though. I want to talk about the car.
Oh yeah, that was a cool car.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. Oh, that's right. That's right. We are still talking flashback. That's right.
Oh, I mean, we could finish
Yeah.
the flashback. Other than that, Trisha Tanaka died
Yeah.
by a meteor
Or an asteroid.
or an asteroid.
We don't know which. We
Just
don't
came
know
out of the
which.
sky and blew it up. And I don't know, some producer or something was saying that as of that moment, that was the single most expensive shot on Lost. I was like, oh man.
Wow. I have to say, it looked really good though. So I think it paid off.
It was just so random. I loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was what it was. I loved it. I like Hurley's mom,
Mhm.
um, and her gold Jesus.
On like a spinning sort of like plate in the middle of the table.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, she's enjoying that money too.
oh yeah.
Uh, so yeah, but all of this like backstory is to kind of reinforce what he's going through on the island, which is essentially what he tells Charlie later, how they need a win. You know, so much crap is happening to all of them, and they're all afraid. They need that win.
Hmm.
So he follows Vincent. Vincent's back with
Hmm.
the arm of a dead guy and a lucky rabbit's foot on it on a key, and Vincent leads him to an old VW bus. Like,
Hmm.
oh man,
Hmm.
baby blue Dharma logo. Like, I loved it.
Dead
Um,
guy in the car,
Dead guy
Roger.
Roger Workman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he apparently Roger died on a beer run.
Who knew?
But
Go figure, right?
hey man, this island, it's dangerous, you
Yeah.
know. So Hurley's trying to, fix up the car, get it running, and no one really believes him. But I like how it's Jin. Jin ends up helping him, not really speaking English and knowing what's going on.
Hmm.
And he ends up helping him. And it was just a cool bonding moment with him and Jin. And then when Charlie and Sawyer joined,
Hmm.
it was just it was a fun boys' day. I think everyone needed it.
Hmm.
Sawyer is also teaching Jin a little bit of English, which is like,
Hmm.
don't go to Sawyer for that.
Yeah, yeah, don't. But it's kind of cool, like seeing, like, kind of forget that, like, Sawyer and Jin, they spent a lot of time together,
Yeah, they did.
and so even though this has only been like 4 days since the last season finale, it's like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's easy to forget all of that. So when they're having their moment, when Sawyer's giving Jin English lessons, like,
Hmm.
it is kind of cool to just like see them. It's like, man, yeah, these
Yeah.
characters, they're
And
so close, they're bonding. It's great.
I mean, it's also okay. It's only been like 4 days since the last season finale, but for us, that was 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And in real life, that was months of
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And they even said like Daniel Day Kim, he was gone. I think he missed like 6 episodes because of that.
Oh wow.
And because of like that 13-week break, like we didn't see him for like 6 months
Mm-hmm.
or 3 months. No, 6 months. I was like, dang, that's
Wow.
crazy. So it had been half a year since we had seen Jin. I'm like, it's just it's wild. And that's what this episode was good for. Like you get to see all the characters, even Nikki and Paolo kind of running around.
Ugh.
But like everyone is there.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, they're having fun. And it was just a good old time. But yeah, so eventually I do like how Hurley was praying. He's just asking for help. And when Sawyer throws the beer can, he sees the giant hill.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, talk about faith, man. Faith or craziness. I don't know what was going through Hurley's head. But the plan is to send the bus over this steep hill with him and Charlie in it. And I don't know, he popped the clutch right before they slam into the death rocks and
Mm-hmm.
like kickstart it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, lo and behold, it works.
Mm-hmm.
And the song playing on the radio was Shambhala.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh yeah,
I have to
just
say, I was kind of hoping that, like, it was gonna end up like sliding up the rocks, and we'd have like an ET moment where
oh,
the van's just like in midair,
where they
you
fly.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I
But
would have
but
loved
no,
that.
I have to say, it was infinitely cooler to just have Hurley turn the key, swerve the car, and then
Mm-hmm.
just Three Dog Night starts playing. And I'm like, this show is amazing. This
Yeah,
this is a great show.
and they all jump in, Vincent as well, and I'm like, dude, this
Yeah.
is this is fun, and it's like these are people who are constantly afraid. They're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with death every day, and
Mm-hmm.
like this is just something we take for granted, riding in a car with friends.
Mm-hmm.
But for them, like that was everything in that moment. I was like, oh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, episode ends in a montage.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there we go, dude. It's a great montage. We got to see Charlie go off with Claire. Jin goes off with Sun, and he gives it a flower again. Good,
Mm-hmm.
good callback to the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sawyer's looking for Kate and can't find her, so he just keeps drinking his beer. I was like, and the music, damn it. Who's the composer? Giacchino?
Yeah, Michael Giacchino.
He uses Shambhala in like the music, in
It's
the
like a melody.
strings.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
the melody. I was like,
He makes it the little theme for the end of the episode. I'm like, you're a genius. You're a genius, Mike.
all in all, fun episode. I really dug it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, it ends with Locke, Saeed, and Kate finding Russo.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Locke even asked Kate, like, "Do you even know where you're going?" Like, because we do. She's like, "How?" And I love Saeed's response, because it was the way the light shined on Mr. Echo's stick.
Mm-hmm.
This so sarcastic bastard.
Yeah.
Have faith, Saeed. Come on. There's other little things like we got that map, and apparently, so the others were trying to build like a dirt road or something. Now that we know they had vehicles at one point.
Mm-hmm. You mean Dharma?
What did I say?
The others.
Oh, okay, yeah, Dharma. So, yeah, because also that's another thing too. Roger had been dead for a while.
Oh yeah, good long while.
Like, I'm willing to bet that VW was like new
Mm-hmm.
at that time, because like his body was pretty decomposed. I'm trying to think of what other little things we got. Charlie, he's kind of moping about because he thinks he's gonna die because Desmond keeps seeing his death. And then he got his win. He got to ride in the car and almost die but didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, The best part, Sam, there was no Jack in this episode.
The best part is that there was no Jack's tattoo in this episode.
Oh yes, there was no Jack's tattoo in this episode.
Yeah. Give me, for every Jack episode, give me 5 more Hurley episodes in your season. That's what I want.
Right.
That's what I want.
Well, it's crazy because we were just saying this is only episode 10, but I feel like we've already done so much in this season, but it was mostly around one group because there's still so many of like the other side characters that like we haven't really seen around. I have to see what comes next.
I guess so.
Okay, but I mean, I guess MVP?
Hugo, man.
Gotta give it to Hurley, man.
Yeah, Hugo Reyes.
I could give it to Giacchino for the music.
I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, like the way he composes the music, not just like towards the end, like the end especially, but even like earlier in the episode, I think like in the first flashback, like in the opening, I was really noticing the music. I'm like, wow, like Giacchino is just like going off on these episodes, and I like
on the one-off episodes, right?
Yeah, on these one-off episodes. Obviously, we did get some like no, like kind of typical stuff. But yeah, like there have been so many moments within the last couple of episodes where Giacchino is just like, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna give them a score, and I'm like, wow, that's incredible. Yeah, I think I still think he's a pretty underrated composer.
Yeah, me too. Dang. Okay, so we'll give those two the MVP. Predictions.
Ooh,
they have a car now.
They do have a car. The car is gonna come into play at some point. They're gonna use the car as like a distraction for the others, and the others they won't know about it. It'll definitely be a thing where it's like, we've thought of every contingency, and then the van comes over the ridge, and Hurley somehow rigged it to have the cucaracha thing, just like very Ant-Man is what I'm getting at. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
we'll see, because next week we're talking about season 3, episode 11, Inter 7-7. When across the island, Kate, Saeed, and Locke find a mysterious building.
Dun dun.
That's always intriguing because there's not a lot of buildings that we've seen on this island.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. All of them have been
another one.
Yeah.
Or underground or the little island. So
That's interesting.
I think it is worth noting that we are now in the month of May. And there are 5 Mondays in May.
Wow.
But since we didn't have an episode last week, just 4. But
yeah.
I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because we're just gonna be like, I feel like we've been stopping and starting with Lost, because we had the 6 episodes, then we took a break, and then we've typically been doing like 3 episodes, and then like our talk episode, our extra episode. But this one, and then we're gonna do 3 more Lost extra episodes right after this. So
we're going. We're going. Just like Hurley. We're rolling down the hill. It's gonna be fun.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have the info with me right now. I think there's 22 episodes this season.
I believe so. Yeah.
So next week will be after next week's. That's going to be the halfway mark.
Halfway,
of the season. Yeah.
Well, look at that. Look at us.
Yeah. Making some headway.
Let me ask you this, Matt.
Ask me this.
Do you think we'll finish season 3 before the end of the year?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool. That's all I want to know.
Because, I mean, there's only 12 more episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. We could do that in 3 months if we do nothing else.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We could, I don't know about, because when we do our little bonus side quest episodes and stuff where we talk about stuff, and we're planning, spoiler alert, everyone, we're planning, Dad's coming back at some point. We're going to do another Ask Dad.
Good old Dad. I like him.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we could easily be done with this season before Halloween.
Wow.
Kind of depends on our schedule. Yeah, either before or right around that time.
Yeah. Okay. We should have a Lost end of season Halloween party.
Do we dress up as Lost characters?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to shape my head to be Locke.
I call dibs on the Hatch.
You could be the Hatch. Dude, with the hair, you could be Hurley, man. You're getting there.
I know. This just mostly comes from laziness. I don't want to go get a haircut, and also anxiety because I don't want to talk to the people that are cutting my hair. That's too much for me right now.
That's why I do it myself, man.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like paying $40 for a haircut, but I want better quality than the $15 haircuts.
Exactly.
In the middle, you get me. You get this. I'm gonna have to find a bald cap. Thank you. I'm gonna have to find a bald cap so I can be locked for Halloween.
Yeah.
Where's the polar bear? Let's see. I haven't seen the polar bear in a while.
That's true.
Yeah. Or the smoke monster. I'm just not gonna be on camera. I'm just gonna have like a fog machine the whole time, and you'll hear my discombobulated voice.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, how are you gonna do the chittering noise?
That's it.
That's
all I got so far. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's good. That's pretty solid. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
All right, man. That's it. We'll do it again next week. Everyone, you know how to find us. Hashtag Lost Legacies. Send us some questions. We'll answer them. And you can find me on Twitter at _Matt Jimenez and on Instagram at Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Reel. That's REEL Texas Weirdo.
That's right. Don't forget, check out Sam's comic at quetzalcoatlcomic.com. And check out our other podcast, Adventures of Cinnamon and Oatmeal, wherever podcasts can be found. All right, everyone. Get lost.
Get lost.